This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks as they take on Josh Rosen and the Arizona Cardinals. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we're about 15 miles west of downtown Phoenix in Glendale, Arizona. So this was the scene a moment ago. The Cardinals emerging from their tunnel, and we are ready for football as the Cards get set to match up with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
In his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. The son, Reddick. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissic. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Play action. It's Wilson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamar Taylor. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot. And now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. On second down, Rosen. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
The head coach relied on his eagle eye in the sky to make the right call and was told to challenge it, and it looks like it's paid off.
And from a coach's standpoint, when you throw that flag, it's probably a pretty tense moment. Here it pays off.
Yeah, you have that little bit of indecision. You throw it where you feel like you're right, and then you think, uh-oh, did I get it right? In this case, they can celebrate.
They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. On to try the field goal now, Phil Dawson. And Dawson's kick is good. And the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now Wilson on 1st down. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
They go play action now. Wilson. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. From the gun, it's Wilson. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. So out now come the Cardinals. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. As David Johnson works his way back from the wrist injury, what are the hesitations, the cautions for him?
Well, number one, you want to make sure he's got full strength in the wrist because he's going to carry the football an awful lot, so ball security is important. And you definitely want to make sure that flexibility there because he's been such a great pass catcher in the past. You want to make sure he gets back to being able to do that as well. We keep talking about the impact that hybrid players have had on the NFL, those guys who can do multiple things. I think Cam Chancellor fits that perfectly. Is he a safety? Is he a linebacker? No, he's a football player.
And they love him in Seattle. He's been there ever since he came to the league in 2010. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. It's caught, block it, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good. He's got daylight. And he takes it down deep into Arizona territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 48 yards.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. There's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have taken a 1st quarter lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Janikowski adds the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Out to kick is Janikowski. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a 1st down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a 1st down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Leopard!
Now it's Rosen. Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, That means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right.
He's got him in. Complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. That one goes for 36 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And Hill running right through it. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out. Again, it's Johnson. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? Second and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. They go play action here on first down. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. William Hayes. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. Give him 30 yards there.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Now Rosen to throw on 2nd down. The quick slant caught. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Jermaine Gresham, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals draw a bit closer. Well, so it goes for a rookie quarterback. He had the INT earlier in this first half, but he bounces back with a touchdown pass.
And you have to like the mental acumen, the toughness, the fortitude of him, because oftentimes for a rookie, you throw an interception early, you're taken right out of the game, or mentally you check out a little bit. Give him a lot of credit for bouncing back.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They're starting to put some space here. You know, first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. They go play action with Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. He'll pick up another first down with that run.
Now a play fake here on first down. Hassan Reddick in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you. You change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And he put enough leg into it, but it's well off to the right and no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
It looked good when it left his foot, but he kind of sliced it a little bit, and he winds up missing it wide right.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive,
David Johnson on his way. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals are able to show off their quick strike ability. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
the concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Extra point try now for Dawson. Dawson able to connect on the extra point, and it's now 17-14. Well, I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats.
Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. Picked off by the veteran Antoine McCray. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's going to have to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw is Rosen. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. Rosen off the play action. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We'll remind you once again, coming up at halftime, we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He's got stats and scores from around the NFL as we wrap up the first month of the season.
No longer is he a rookie. The coach, a true veteran now.
A crafty veteran. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On second down, here's Rosen. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. K.J. Wright able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3.
When you're this close to the goal line, you've got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Being chased out left. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the ball is going to wind up out of bounds, so they will lose yardage, but they'll keep the football.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he powers his way up past the 30. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. The Seahawks on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Wilson to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the second time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now it's Peterson. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Now Rosen on first down. Looking downfield for Downs. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. Gets through and now an opening. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
You're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an interception.
For different teams.
Different team.
All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. They go to Johnson again. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or two short here with third down coming up.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there at 20 yards.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Johnson with a burst, a first down and more. And down to the 27-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
On first down, it's Rosen. Out left side here to Bryant. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, Big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
This quarterback now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing now, Rosen on 1st down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up the screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Rosen now off the bootleg. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Rosen to throw again. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brendan, but 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Carson, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
This complete to Lockett. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 35. Wilson to Lockett there for the Seahawk 1st down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. Got to have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
With a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion. Force an incompletion and force another punt.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Leopard! Leopard! You got 4.
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Shaquille Griffin in on the stop defensively.
Nice job there defensively on third down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
The Cardinals on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5.
All right, here we go. 3, 9, touch.
Here's Rosen. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now it's Lockett. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now. 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Play action. Now Wilson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he takes it down deep into Arizona territory. It's a big hook up there. Wilson to Baldwin. 46 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. On 2nd down, Wilson. His pass caught at the 4. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. J.D. McKissick, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. Didn't have anything downfield, swung it out to the flat. He did the rest.
Such a staple of so many offenses we see now. You know, in our discussions with offense coordinators, how many times do they tell us, hey, this offense is designed for either a touchdown or a check down. We saw the check down on that play, and boy, was it successful.
We saw a touchdown, too. Janikowski good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out to kick is Janikowski. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one goes for 36 yards. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
It's Cardinal football, but they trail here as we get set to bring you the 4th and final quarter. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Rosen on 1st down. Screen play, Johnson. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On play action, Rosen. He'll buy some time right. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Rosen will throw. Dancing to his left. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Jaron Reed in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And Dawson's kick is good. And that will cut the lead down to just 2. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. I guess the good news hadn't been able to hold them to a field goal on the other side. They'd be down, but now it's about preserving that very small lead.
It is preserving and maybe stretching it out a little bit, because if you're a starter on that side of the ball, I certainly hope you didn't loosen up your shoulder pads or start to cut the tape off, because if you did it way too soon. They've got to go back out there with renewed vigor, for lack of a better term, and also a good plan. They need points, and they need them now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll go again with McKissick. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Well, he had 2 sacks earlier. Now he has 4 total tackles for a loss after that play.
Well, they obviously have to do a better job trying to block him. But short of that, you know what the quarterback has to do? Make sure he doesn't hand it to him when he's back there thinking he's one of his own guys. His quickness, his suddenness, his speed getting into the offense's backfield has been something else in this game.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Rosen on 1st and 10. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. The intended receiver was David Johnson. That'll bring up 2nd down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And Gresham has it left side. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up.
With no running back. backs in the backfield to help pass protect. All the receivers in their patterns. These are going to be hot routes if they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback. They've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
This is Carson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up to the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And Janikowski bangs it through, and that will push the lead up to 5. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Off the play fake, here's Rosen. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
2nd and 10. It's Rosen again. Throw left side, caught by Butler. And he's brought down. 18 yards the gain for number 18. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Hurry up, here we go. 3, 9, 10.
Again, it's Rosen. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. They'll look to throw. Hauling it in, Nelson. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Sometimes it's hard to figure, but you can live with incompletions in this situation. You can't live with these short gains that take time off the clock.
You know who loves it? This defense.
Here we go now.
He's back to throw. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Give credit to K.J. Wright. He was disrupting defensively. Trying to squeeze it in there at this stage of the game. You got to take some chances. Nice job to knock it away, though.
You're so right. Understanding where they are in the game, you got to take that opportunity and maybe thread the needle. Unable to get it done there.
Back to throw. Fitzgerald bringing it in over the middle. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
And down by 5, they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Here we go. It's Rosen on 4th down. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. David Johnson in the final minute. And the Cardinals have taken the lead here in the 4th.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
I think we can figure out why they went for 2 there, right? Up 1. You want to make it a field goal difference if at all possible. They didn't get it. Now they've got to play some defense down the stretch.
Yeah, not much margin for error now for your D. They just have to get it into range. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll put it out to the 25. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Back to throw. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts.
Defense.
That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They'll run with McKissick. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Robert Nkemdiche, the one to bring him down. Clock running, and the Seahawks, they're running too, trying to speed up to the line of scrimmage. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. The Seahawks on 3rd down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. They run it with Carson. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. So now this thing's coming down to the big left leg of Sebastian Janikowski. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. So now this thing's coming down to the big left leg of Sebastian Janikowski. This from long, very long range. And this kick is not going to get there. It's short and no good. Well, that would have been something if he could have saved him from that long distance there in the closing seconds, but it was just not meant to be.
They needed a little more time and a little more yardage to give him a realistic shot. And that kick's a good metaphor for this game, isn't it? They're going to wind up a little short in the end.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Victory all but assured now as they take a knee here, and they're going to escape with a 1-point victory. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Cardinals, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Los Angeles Rams.